The 16-year-old Lamine Yamal. That is absolutely astonishing.
Welcome back to the channel, football fanatics. If you're here, you know we're diving deep into the beautiful game, where rivalries are born, stars are made, and moments become legendary. Today we're talking about two of the brightest young talents in world football, Lamine Yamal and Endrick Felipe. Both just 18 years old, both carrying the weight of massive expectations, and both playing for the biggest clubs in Spain, Barcelona and Real Madrid. But here's the kicker. In their head-to-head battles, one of these wonder kids is leaving the other in the dust. So buckle up as we break down how Lamine Yamal ghosted Endrick, a story of skill, swagger, and one teenager outshining another on the grandest stage. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives like this one. Let's get into it. The rise of two prodigies. Let's set the scene. The football world is always hunting for the next big thing. The heir to Messi and Ronaldo, the spark to ignite a new era. In 2023, two names started buzzing louder than most: Lamine Yamal and Endrick Felipe. Born just 6 days apart in July 2007, these teenagers were destined to be compared. Yamal, a product of Barcelona's famed La Masia Academy, and Endrick, the Brazilian sensation who swapped Palmeiras for Real Madrid in a blockbuster move. Both carry the hopes of their clubs, their countries, and millions of fans. But their paths? Oh, they couldn't be more different. Lamine Yamal burst onto the scene like a comet. At just 15 years and 9 months, he made his La Liga debut for Barcelona against Real Betis in April 2023, becoming the youngest player to ever represent the Blaugrana in the competition. Fast forward to the 2023-24 season, and Yamal was no longer a prospect, he was a starter. By age 16, he was racking up records. Youngest to score in La Liga, youngest to assist in La Liga, youngest to score in the Supercopa de España, and the youngest to ever play in a European Championship final. This kid wasn't just breaking records, he was rewriting the history books. Endrick, meanwhile, was carving his own path in Brazil. At Palmeiras, he was a goal-scoring machine, netting 14 goals in 44 games with a clinical edge that had scouts drooling. His €72 million, 0 cents move to Real Madrid in 2023 was a statement. This was a kid ready to dominate. But when he arrived in Spain, the spotlight wasn't just on him, it was shared with Yamal. And that's where the real story begins. The rivalry begins. The comparisons between Yamal and Endrick were inevitable. Barcelona versus Real Madrid. La Masia versus Brazilian flair. Creative winger versus lethal striker. Fans on social media were already pitting them against each other, with posts on X declaring, "Yamal is the new Messi," or "Endrick's gonna outscore everyone." But talk is cheap. The real test? The pitch. Their first major clash came in the 2024-25 season, and it was a chance for both to prove who was the bigger talent. Let's rewind to October 2024, the first El Clásico of the season. At the Santiago Bernabéu, Yamal, now 17, was a nailed-on starter for Barcelona under Hansi Flick. Endrick, still finding his feet at Real Madrid, was coming off the bench for Carlo Ancelotti's star-studded side. The stage was set for a showdown. Yamal was electric that day. He danced past defenders like they were cones, his left foot curling passes and shots with surgical precision. In the 42nd minute, he picked up the ball on the right, nutmegged Antonio Rudiger, that Rudiger, and whipped a cross that led to Robert Lewandowski's opener. Later, in the 67th minute, Yamal unleashed a curling strike from 20 yards, forcing a world-class save from Thibaut Courtois. The kid was everywhere, creating, dribbling, and terrorizing Real Madrid's backline. Endrick, he came on in the 60th minute, replacing an underperforming Rodrigo. The Bernabeu faithful were buzzing, expecting their Brazilian prodigy to spark something. But it didn't happen. Endrick struggled to get into the game, misplacing passes and getting shrugged off by Barcelona's defenders. His one shot, a hopeful effort from distance, sailed over the bar. Final score, Barcelona 4-3, Real Madrid, with Yamal directly involved in 2 goals. Endrick, a forgettable cameo. Social media exploded. Yamal ghosted Endrick? Where was Real's wonder kid? The narrative was set. Stats don't lie. Let's break it down with numbers, because the stats tell a story of their own. By July 2025, Yamal had played 127 senior matches for Barcelona and Spain, scoring 25 goals and racking up a staggering 34 assists. That's a goal contribution every 2.5 games. At 18 years old, in La Liga alone, he'd notched 9 goals and 13 assists in the 2024-25 season, creating 64 chances and completing 108 crosses. His SofaScore rating? a cool 7.9 average. This wasn't just talent, this was dominance. Endrick, on the other hand, had a slower start in Europe. In the same season, he'd played 837 minutes across 18 matches for Real Madrid, scoring 6 goals and grabbing 1 assist. Impressive for a teenager, sure, but compared to Yamal, it's night and day. Endrick's strength was his finishing 48.7% shot accuracy and a knack for scoring from tight angles. But he was less involved in play, averaging just 31.5 touches per game compared to Yamal's 60.7. Yamal was the creative hub. Endrick was a poacher waiting for chances. Their international stats are even more telling. Yamal was the star of Spain's Euro 2024 triumph, delivering a tournament-high 4 assists and scoring a stunner against France in the semi-final. He was named Young Player of the Tournament and made the team of the tournament. Endrick, at Copa America 2024, played just 124 minutes for Brazil, with 0 goals or assists. In Brazil's elimination match, he managed 1 pass, the kickoff. Ouch. It's not just about numbers, though. Yamal's flair, his ability to glide past defenders, his vision, his fearlessness, made him a nightmare for opponents. Endrick, while deadly in front of goal, was still adapting to the pace and physicality of European football. The gap was clear, and it was growing. The Copa del Rey clash. Fast forward to April 2025, and the stakes got even higher. Barcelona and Real Madrid faced off in the Copa del Rey final, a chance for redemption for Endrick and a stage for Yamal to cement his legend. The build-up was insane. Posts on X were hyping it up. Endrick's gonna show Yamal who's boss. Yamal's about to cook again. The football world was watching. Yamal started the game like a man possessed. In the 15th minute, he picked up the ball on the wing, jinked past Lucas Vazquez, and delivered a pinpoint pass to Gavi, who slotted home. The Camp Nou, or rather, the temporary Estadi Olympique, erupted. Endrick, starting for Real Madrid, had a chance to respond in the 25th minute, but his shot was smothered by Marc-Andre ter Stegen. As the game wore on, Yamal's influence grew. He set up Lewandowski for Barcelona's second goal, and nearly scored himself with a long-range curler that hit the post. Endrick, to his credit, didn't give up. In the 70th minute, he latched onto a through ball from Jude Bellingham and rifled a shot into the bottom corner, his 5th goal in 5 Copa del Rey games that season, a stat only bettered by Cristiano Ronaldo in 2012-13. But it wasn't enough. Barcelona won 3-1, with Yamal named man of the match. Once again, he'd stolen the show, while Endrick's moment of brilliance was overshadowed. Off the pitch, different paths. It's not just on the field where Yamal was outshining Endrick. Their lives off the pitch tell a story of contrast. Yamal, born in Catalonia to a Moroccan father and an Equatorial Guinean mother, grew up in the tough Rocafonda neighborhood. His journey from La Masia to global stardom was a fairy tale, but it came with pressure. His 18th birthday party in July 2025 sparked controversy. Over 200 guests, A-list celebrities, and allegations of inappropriate behavior. The Spanish ministry even launched an investigation. Yet Yamal handled the scrutiny like a veteran, staying focused and letting his football do the talking. Endrick, meanwhile, was portraying a more private, mature image. He reaffirmed his marriage to Brazilian model Gabriele Miranda in a quiet ceremony in 2025, a stark contrast to Yamal's lavish bash. But injuries hampered his season. A muscle issue sidelined him for weeks, delaying his integration into Real Madrid's squad. While Yamal was breaking records, Endrick was fighting to prove he could handle the step-up. The media narrative was clear. Yamal was the golden boy, the fearless teenager who thrived under pressure. Endrick, the talented but inconsistent kid who needed time. Posts on X summed it up. Yamal's carrying Barca at 18, Endrick still warming the bench. Harsh? Maybe, but the truth hurts. The mental edge. What sets Yamal apart? It's not just skill, it's mentality. This kid has ice in his veins. Take Euro 2024. France's Adrien Rabiot questioned Yamal's ability before their semifinal clash. Yamal's response? A cryptic Instagram post. Move in silence. Only speak when it's time to say checkmate. Then he went out, scored a screamer, and knocked France out. After the game, he mouthed, "Speak now," to the cameras. Checkmate, indeed. Or how about the UEFA Nations League quarterfinal against the Netherlands in March 2025? Rafael van der Vaart took a jab at Yamal's low-slung shorts and attitude. Yamal responded by scoring in a 3-3 thriller, even if he missed a penalty in the shootout. His Instagram post afterward? Shorts down, a goal, a missed penalty, and into the semifinal. The kid doesn't just play, he performs. Endrick, by contrast, has been quieter. His focus is on proving himself through goals, but the pressure of Real Madrid's Galactico culture seems to weigh heavier. Ancelotti's cautious approach, easing him in with substitute appearances, hasn't helped. When Endrick did shine, like his goal against Real Sociedad in the Copa del Rey semifinal, it was a reminder of his potential. But consistency? That's where Yamal has the edge. The future of the rivalry. So, has Lamine Yamal ghosted Endrick? On the evidence so far, it's hard to argue otherwise. Yamal's been the brighter star, the bigger game changer, the one stealing headlines. In head-to-head matchups, he's outplayed Endrick. In stats, he's miles ahead. In impact, he's carrying Barcelona while Endrick is still finding his place at Real Madrid. But let's not write Endrick off. This kid has raw talent. His finishing is lethal, and his physicality will only improve. At 18, he's got time to grow into the role Real Madrid envisioned for him. Injuries and a tougher transition to Europe have slowed him down, but the potential is there. The Copa del Rey final showed he can deliver on big stages. The question is, can he catch up to Yamal? This rivalry is just getting started. Yamal and Endrick could define El Clásico for the next decade, much like Messi and Ronaldo did. But right now, Yamal's got the upper hand. He's not just playing football, he's rewriting what's possible for an 18-year-old. From La Masia to the Euros to the Ballon d'Or conversation, Lamine Yamal is a phenomenon. Endrick? He's got work to do. The ghosting continues. As we wrap up, let's give credit where it's due. Both Lamine Yamal and Endrick are special talents, the kind that come along once in a generation. But in 2025, it's Yamal who's shining brightest. He's ghosted Endrick on the pitch, outclassed him in big moments, and set a standard that's tough to match. Will Endrick fire back? Only time will tell. What do you think, football fans? Is Yamal the real deal, or will Endrick have the last laugh? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive, and subscribe for more stories from the beautiful game. Until next time, keep loving football, and we'll see you on the pitch.